February 18th, 2013, 7:47 p.m. Two black vehicles with flashing blue police lights race across the tarmac of Brussels Airport directly toward a Helvetic Airways plane. 8 masked men jump out carrying assault rifles. They walk to the cargo hold, pull out 120 parcels, and load them into their vehicles. 3 minutes later, they're gone. $50 million in diamonds, 0 shots fired, 0 injuries. The 29 passengers on board the plane don't even know it happened. Belgium is the center of the global diamond trade. Antwerp's diamond district, a few blocks of heavily secured buildings near the central station, handles 80% of the world's rough diamonds. Every day, stones worth millions move between Antwerp's cutting rooms and markets across the world. The route is well established. Diamonds are packed into parcels, loaded into Brinks armored vans, driven 45 kilometers to Brussels Airport, transferred to the cargo hold of commercial aircraft, and flown to buyers in Zurich, Mumbai, and New York. The security is tight. Armed guards, armored vehicles, CCTV, perimeter fences. But on the evening of February 18th, 2013, someone who knew every detail of that pipeline, the flight number, the timing, the cargo door, decided to exploit the one moment when $50 million in diamonds sat on an open tarmac. The planning was meticulous. The gang, 8 men, conducted reconnaissance of Brussels Airport, studying flight schedules, cargo transfer procedures, and the layout of the perimeter fence. They found a weak point, a stretch of fence adjacent to 2 construction sites that provided cover. They acquired 2 black vehicles, a Mercedes van and an Audi A8, and fitted both with flashing blue police lights. They obtained dark uniforms resembling Belgian police gear. They armed themselves with assault rifles, later identified as likely IMI Galil models. And most critically, they obtained precise intelligence about the shipment. They knew the diamonds were coming from Antwerp. They knew they'd arrive in a Brinks armored van. They knew the flight number, Helvetic Airways LX789 to Zurich. They knew the cargo transfer window. Aviation security consultant Doron Levy would later tell CBS News, "I am certain this was an inside job." At approximately 7:45 p.m., the 8 men positioned themselves at the construction site. They cut through the 25-kilometer perimeter fence. CCTV cameras capture the 2 black vehicles breaching the gap, blue lights flashing. They drive directly across the tarmac toward Pier A. The Brinks armored van has just finished transferring the diamond parcels into the cargo hold of the Helvetic Airways Fokker 100. The flight is scheduled to depart at 8:05. The masked gunmen exit their vehicles, brandishing assault rifles. They order the Brinks security personnel, ground workers, and the pilots to step back. No one resists. The men open the cargo hold and begin extracting the parcels, 120 to 130 packages of rough and polished diamonds. They load them into the Mercedes and the Audi. 3 to 5 minutes after breaching the fence, both vehicles exit through the same hole and disappear into the Belgian night. 29 passengers were seated on the Helvetic Airways Fokker 100, waiting for their flight to Zurich. Below them, on the tarmac, 8 armed men were stealing $50 million in diamonds from the plane's cargo hold. Not a single passenger heard a thing. Not a single shot was fired. When they were eventually told the flight was canceled, they had no idea what had just happened beneath them. Later that evening, Belgian police found the Mercedes van abandoned and burned near the airport. The Audi had vanished. So had the diamonds. Belgian federal police launched an intensive investigation. They analyzed CCTV footage, examined the burned-out van for DNA and forensic evidence, and begin monitoring phone communications. Within weeks, they identify a key suspect, Marc Bertoldi, a luxury car dealer from the French Riviera, whose car is spotted near the robbery scene. Phone surveillance reveals Bertoldi is in contact with a man named Hussein Bajadi from Brussels, who investigators identify as the presumed mastermind. The trail widens further when investigators discover that Bertoldi passed a large sack of stolen diamonds to a friend named Pascal Pont, a Swiss real estate agent. Pont's clumsy attempts to sell the stones in Geneva, an unusual location for diamond trading, raise immediate red flags. On May 8, 2013, 200 officers conduct coordinated raids across Belgium, France, and Switzerland. 31 people are arrested in a single morning. Some diamonds are recovered by Swiss police. 19 suspects are charged. The trial begins in February 2018, and then comes a result that stuns Belgium and the diamond industry. All 18 defendants are acquitted. Every single one. The court finds the evidence insufficient, criticizing the investigation as overly broad and reliant on circumstantial connections. A separate trial is held for Marc Bertoldi in June 2019. He's convicted of co-conspiracy and money laundering. The sentence: 5 years in prison and a forfeiture order of 37.9 million euros. But the tribunal explicitly states Bertoldi is not the mastermind. In March 2023, 4 remaining suspects face retrial on appeal. They're acquitted too. The final score: 31 arrested, 19 charged, 1 convicted. The alleged mastermind, Hussein Bajdadi, was never found guilty. The vast majority of the diamonds have never been recovered. The question that haunts investigators to this day: where are the diamonds? $50 million in rough and polished stones. Only a small fraction was recovered during the Swiss police raids. The rest, tens of millions of dollars worth, simply vanished. Rough diamonds, unlike polished ones, have no serial numbers, no laser inscriptions, no traceable identifiers. Once they're recut and polished, they're indistinguishable from any other diamond on the market. Experts believe the stones were quickly dispersed through underground networks in multiple countries, recut and sold individually. They could be in engagement rings on fingers right now, in jewelry store windows, in private collections. There is virtually no way to identify them. The perfect crime leaves no evidence. This one left almost none. Brussels Airport overhauled its perimeter security after the heist. New fences, new sensors, new procedures for tarmac access. The Antwerp diamond industry demanded stricter cargo transfer protocols, but the heist itself remains a masterclass in criminal precision. 8 men, 2 vehicles, assault rifles that were never fired, inside intelligence that has never been fully explained, a 3-minute window exploited to perfection, and a trial that ended with almost everyone walking free. Aviation security consultant Philip Baum called it proof that airport security had a fundamental blind spot. The diamonds were protected at every step of the journey, except the 60 seconds when they sat in an open cargo hold on an open tarmac.